All right, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome. All right, so this is going to be lesson 8.3, multiplying polynomials. This is usually where I have a thing about telling you to do your topics, but we're not doing any yet in ALEKS. Essential question, does it matter what method you use to multiply polynomials? Okay, it'll be an interesting dilemma that some of you may have as we go along here. Homework is on ALEKS, so please make sure that you get in there and you do the homework for 8.3. So let's begin. This is usually our bell work, but I'm trying to do the quizzes, so hopefully we got that. Now we're going to look for and express regulatory repeating reasoning. We're talking about using and understanding polynomials again. All right, it's kind of just building up equations, understanding. We've multiplied polys. Now we're going to use the FOIL method, and we're going to use a distribution property. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about this one, but my main focus is going to be not just the FOIL method, but also another method that Mr. Olson likes to use, which I'm going to incorporate this year, which is called the box method. Okay, if you'd like to follow along in your book, I'm over here opening it up. Please go ahead and open your book right now to page 506. So that way you kind of see some of the examples as we move along. All right, FOIL method and quadratic expression. So first off, when you guys get your notes on Canvas, you will see that the notes already have these boxes in there, and I'll explain that in a second. So this is what we're going to be doing. First, you can use the distributive property. Okay, what that means is that you can actually solve this out by distributing it by pieces. So what that means is like this. This y would be multiplied into here. So you would write it out kind of like this. Okay, and then it's going to be plus 8, and then it would be y minus 4. Right, that's the setup. And then this one here would do the same thing. So it would be 2x on the outside, and then it would be x plus 6, and then it's going to be plus 1, because you're doing x plus, because you're basically multiplying this in here, x plus 6, like this, okay? You distribute like that. Now you distribute. So this is y squared minus 4y plus 8y minus, and then that is 32. Combine the like terms, which are usually always in the middle, and you'd end up with y squared plus 4y minus 32. So that's this equation. And then on the one over here, okay, do the same distribution. It'd be 2x squared, and then it's going to be plus 12x plus x, because 1 times x is just x, plus 6. Outsides usually stay the similar. Insides usually are added together. So you'd end up with 2x squared plus 13x plus 6. Okay? So that's our stopping point. Okay? Now, what this method is it's kind of cool where it's a box method. Okay? I want to make sure you guys do it because sometimes we may or may not do the factoring like this. And what it means is that it's kind of when you guys do it in biology, I can't remember the name of it. I know it'll come to me when you guys start doing with genetics. And what it is you would put a y here, and we'll do this term over here, minus 4. Okay, because that's y minus 4. And then here you put a y, and then it would be an 8, positive 8. And then how you would write it out here, same thing. Doesn't matter which one's first. I'll go opposites this time. 2x and a positive 1, and it's x plus 6. And now what you do is within these boxes is you multiply what the terms on the outside. So this would be y squared, and then y times a negative 4 would be negative 4y, and then you would have y times 8 would be 8y, 8 times 4 would be negative 32. And then what happens is horizontally speaking, the terms that are horizontal to each other going this way are always actually going to be common terms. So at 8y, you'd end up with y squared. These would go together. It'd be plus 8y minus 32. So we ended up with the exact same answer. Okay, this same setup. 2x times x, 2x squared, x times 1 would just be x. And then this would be 6 times 2x would be 12x. And then 6 times this would be 6. Add them together. 2x squared plus 13x plus 6. So you get the same thing. Now, how you like to do it, I'm going to show you a third method in a second here, is up to you, okay? First off, what I want you to do, you don't have to do both, but try, if you want to do the box method, you can, or if you want to just do the distribution method, you can as well. All right, so I'll show you both. So it's 3m, and then it's going to be m plus 5. Here's your setup, plus 4, and then it's m plus 5. And then this one over here would be 5y, y plus 8, and then it's going to be minus 2y plus 8. Okay, and then you do the distribution, so on and so forth. So I'm going to try to do it on the box one for this one. So let me go 3m and 4, and let me go m and 5. Now I'm not going to write the pluses anymore. I'm only going to do it over here. So it'd be 5y and then negative 2, and then it's going to be y and 8. So there's my box. Okay, so if I do this setup here, 3, so it'd be 2m's, 3m squared, and then 3 times 5 is 15m. Okay, m times 4 is 4m. 4 times 5 is 20. Horizontally speaking, you have the setup here. 3m squared is all by itself. These two add up. 15 plus 9 is going to be, or 15 plus 4 is 19m, and it's going to be plus 20. So there's my equation. So the box method, if you use it, can be fairly good. 5y, 2 of them, squared. 5 times 8 is 40, and then there's a y. Y times negative 2 would be that. 8 times negative 2 would be negative 16. Add those two together, okay, and you would end up with, let me change the color to distinguish it. Okay, you would be 5y squared. Add these together, be plus 38y minus 16. Okay? It's however you want to do it, ladies and gentlemen, but either do distribution like this, or you can do that. Now let me show you a third method. Okay? It's called the FOIL method. It's old school. I learned this in elementary. I learned this when I was in high school. It's kind of still taught, but it's not taught as much as it used to be. Some teachers are trying to go away from it, because what it means is you take the product of the first term. So FOIL method is FOIL, which is product of the first term, okay, and then it's product of the outer terms. So it'll be x, and there's the O part, outer terms. So it's first terms, outer terms, inner terms, last terms. That's how it's set up, okay? So you would multiply them together, and this is how you create it. So let me explain the FOIL method using this way. So it'd be first term like here, okay, so that would be z squared, and then it'd be z times the outside term, the O. So it'd be minus, because that's minus 12z. I hate the z because it looks like a 2. Sorry, I have bad handwriting. Then it's the inner terms, negative 6 times z, so it's negative 6z. And then negative and a negative is going to be a positive, but it's 6 times 12, which is, that's 272. Okay? Then you can combine the terms in the middle. And there you go. There's your setup. Now, if you want to do the same thing on this, here's the grid, okay, for the FOIL. So it'd be 7, or it'd be z, negative 6, z, negative 12, okay? If you were to do this method, this is z squared. Z, this would be, whoops, that's negative, so let me stop, squared, negative 6z, and then this is going to be negative 12z, because this box and this box together, and then these two together would be 72. There's your setup. 6 minus 12 is 18. You get the same thing, okay? So I'll do the FOIL method over here again. So this to here, ladies and gentlemen, would be 10x squared. This to the outside would be plus 40x. This one, inside term, next, is, that's why you have the I, negative 8x. And then the last terms would be minus 32. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all you do is you combine the terms up, and you go from there. So it'll be plus 32x minus 32, and you leave it at that. If you want to put it into this box, you can at this point, but just know it's up to you if you want to do it. Next, so what I want you guys to do is please go ahead and practice these 3 real quick. I step out of the way. and keep going. All right, so I'll leave it up to you guys how you want to do it. I'll do one of the FOIL methods. How are you, sir? I'll do one of the FOIL methods, and then we'll do the other way with the box. Okay, so FOIL first. 4 times 12. 4 times 3 is 12, and it'd be b squared, and then you would multiply that out. 8b, then you multiply the inner term and the last term. So it'd be minus 15b minus 10. Okay, there's your setup. So now you combine the like terms. The outsides are always going to stay the same, and that's going to be minus 7b minus 10. There's your setup. I'll use the box on this one. So it's 2y and a negative 5, and then this is a y and a negative 6. So if I multiply this out, these two multiplied together would be 2y squared. Y times this is negative 5y, and then negative 6 times 2 is a negative 12y. Negative and negative is going to be a positive 30. Now you can add these, combine these like terms together. So I'd end up with, let me change the color on this, distinguish. So you'd end up with 2y squared, right? And then this would be negative 12, and minus 15 is negative 17y. And then it's going to be plus 30, right? So there's your setup on that one. And then I will use the FOIL method again on this one. So like I said, it's up to you guys how you actually want to do this. I personally don't really care. It's whatever method you like the most, okay? If you want to be, here, actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to use the distribution method on this one. Okay, the distribution method works well. Some of you guys may like that. So it'll be 5a times 3a minus 4 plus 2, and then it's 3a minus 4. Just like that. Okay, that's the distribution method. Now you would just distribute into here. So this would be 15a squared minus 20a plus 6a minus 8. Okay, you guys see the distribution that I've done in there. Combine the like terms, 15a squared, and this is going to be minus, that is 14, minus 8. So, ladies and gentlemen, three different methods. FOIL, using the box, using the distribution. 3 ways of doing it. You'll all get the same answer, but it's how you personally like to do it. Okay, that's the big key aspect. If you guys struggle with trying to figure it out, then that's one aspect where I want to make sure when it comes to a binomial times a binomial like this, okay, it's up to you on how you want to solve it. All right, just know that you have to be confident in your method that you choose, and that you have to make sure that you own it. And what I mean by that is that don't be, if you struggle with the FOIL method, okay, then don't use it. If you struggle with the box method, then you should not use it. And if you struggle with distribution, then don't use it. But you should use it for everything else, okay? If you love the box method, then you need to use this the whole time. Draw your little boxes. On the notes, I put the boxes there for you. But in the real world, you're going to have to draw your own boxes, okay, if you guys comes to test time. Figure out which way you like the most, and then you answer it yourself. Okay, so now we're going to do a distributive property on a bigger box, okay? Now, cool thing about this, the complicated part about this is that this can be a little tricky. Now, unless you use the box method, okay? So we'll use the box method on this. If you want to use FOIL, you can. What I mean by FOIL, because it's not, there's more than 3 terms, you would just use multiplication. So I could do technically the distribution if I wanted to, where it'd be 3a, and then it would be multiplied by a squared minus 12a plus 1, and then it would be plus 4, and then you would write a squared minus 12a plus 1, right? And then you guys could distribute the 3a, distribute the 4, combine all your terms, and you get it together, right? You guys would understand how to do that because that's what we did last chapter. But let's try the box method with this. So it's a squared here. This is a minus 12a, and this is a 1. And this will be 3a, and this is a 4. So now let's combine these terms up and put them in the boxes. So if I have 3a, and then I have a to the third, this is going to be 3a to the third. I'm going to multiply it this way. So 12 times 3 is actually 36, negative 36a. And then the last piece here would be 3a. All right, next, 4. So 4a squared. Oops, I messed up. That's a squared. 4a squared, because a times a would be a squared. So 4a squared, 4 times this would be negative 48a, and then this would be 4. So here's what's cool about the box method, is now what you do is you can combine the terms that are horizontal to each other. These terms go together, and this term goes together, just like that. So the 3a is out by itself. So my answer is 3a to the third, right? Now I combine these two. Negative 36 plus that would be negative 32, right? And then negative 48 and a 3 be negative 45a plus 4. Okay, so the box method allows you to actually skip rewriting. Because if I rewrote this, I would rewrite it all in one big long theme like we did, and then you would have to simplify it up. But a box method makes it so that you can put everything in a little box, combine the terms by doing this, and go from there. So I'll do the last one with the box method as well. Okay, so we'll do, doesn't matter which one goes first, 2b squared, this is going to be 7b, this is going to be 9. This will be b squared, this will be 3b, and then this will be negative 1. Now the key aspect with this is making sure everything is in standard form. Okay, we've already covered standard form, and standard form is, as you guys know, is to make sure that the variables are in line with the power. So this would be 2, 1, 0, right? Because degree of 2, degree of 1, degree of 0. Make sure it's set up in standard form. Now that we have it that way, let's multiply it out. All right, here we go. So I got 2b to the 4th. b squared times this would be 7b to the 3rd, and this would be 9b squared. Next on the setup, this would be 6b to the 3rd, and then 7 times that would be 21b squared, and then 3 times 9 is 27b. Yes, it is 27. I was making sure I did the math right. All right, with the box, if you put this in, negative 1, that's just going to be negative 2b squared. This is going to be negative 7b, and this is going to be negative 9, because how easy is it multiplying something by negative 1? Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the cool thing with the box method, okay? Now we can do our singling it out. This goes together. Look at this. Instead of writing it out and trying to combine all these like terms, those are together, and lastly, that's together. So we can actually write our equation out. So we have 2b to the 4th. And then we would set this up. 6 plus 7 is 13. Okay, now we have 21 plus 9 is 30. That's easy, right? And then minus 2 is going to be plus 28. B squared. And then 27 minus 7 is 20b minus 9. So the box method allows you guys to actually be able to simplify this a lot quicker and to simplify it easier. Okay? Now, what I want you guys to do, if you have any questions about this, it's kind of crazy, I know, but if you haven't done this yet in biology, this will actually help you in biology, because when you guys start to do genetics, you'll have to do the diagram just like this. Okay? So, what I want you guys to do now is please focus your attention on this guided practice. Use whatever method you want. If you want to do the distribution like we did, like I showed you, or if you want to use the boxes, please use the boxes. But no matter what, be confident in what you choose. All right, so let's fill in these boxes real quick. 2x squared, 7x minus 8, 3x minus 5. We go m squared, 2m minus 3. It's going to be 4m squared minus 7m 5. Okay, so it's up to you about what you want to do and how you want to do it, guys. It doesn't actually matter which way it goes on that one. This one, it kind of does because of how I laid out the boxes. All right, 3 times 2, 6, and we have 3x's. 21x squared, and negative 24x. Move down, negative 10x squared, negative 5 times this, it'd be negative 35x. Negative and negative is going to be a positive 40. Now we set it up like this, and when we do, we have our beautiful little squares, table, 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 okay? Actually, probably make this look better. Let me go with orange. I think you guys can see it. So I'll separate the colors so you can kind of see the difference. Okay, so now we have 6x to the third. 21 minus 10 is going to be 11. And then negative, ooh, that's a big negative. Negative 59x plus 40. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the easiest way to do it. Now, I just want to try to show you easy ways to do it. Please know that this is the easiest way. All right, we'll do this big boy here. 4m to the fourth. All right, 4 times 2 is 8, and I have 3 m's. This would be negative 12m squared. 7, negative 7m to the third. 7 times this would be negative 14m squared. And this would be 21m. Negative and negative is a positive. So now we have 5m squared. 10m. 5 times this would be negative 15. All right, same setup. Lastly here, let's go with the dark red. You guys do the little highlight. Know what goes together. Group those. Group those. Group those. So if I do that, it's easy for me to do this math. It's 4m to the fourth. And then 8 minus 7 is going to be just 1m. So it's plus m to the third. And then it's going to be 14 minus 12 is negative 26. Plus 5 is a negative 9. Wait, that's it, 26. 26 plus 5, 21. Negative 21 m squared, and then it's going to be 21 plus that would be positive 31 m minus 15. Hopefully you guys understand. Let me rewrite this because this looks horrible. So that was 4m plus. Hopefully you guys got all this. The key factor is understanding how you guys need to do this distribution, okay? The box method works great because it's actually going to help us when we have to break these down going the other way as well, factoring things out, okay? It'll work fantastic for us. So just know that we are actually, when we get into factoring quadratics, we're going to use the box method going backwards. And then we'll also use a couple other methods that I'm going to show you along the way. But it's good that you guys can get to kind of see this setup. If, ladies and gentlemen, you have questions on this, please let me know. Your homework, when you do these in ALEKS, on a piece of paper, just write the squares out, just like this, okay? If you can write these squares out and do this box setup like this, like I said, not only will it help you with me in my class, but it'll help you in biology when you work on genetics. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please come ask me if you have any questions. I'm always here after school, and usually here early in the morning as well before school. If you don't have time, you can shoot me a message on Remind, or you can send me an email as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a great day, night, or morning, but I'll see you soon.